Have you ever wondered if everyone's life was as boring as yours? Celebrities? Billionaires? I guess you have chased that one thing that you think would make your life more interesting and never boring again. When we think about life, we think about life in the structure of a story. You know, when we are born, then we did some things, we made some memories, and now we're here, working in the job. But in the future, we are planning to do more things. I want to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I want to get 1 million followers on Instagram. I want to get paid while I travel and taste the most expensive food in the world. I don't want to worry about how much money is left in my bank account. We all tend to view our lives in sort of a narrative design, with a beginning, a middle, and an inevitable end. We try reflecting on the past to how that got us here today, and with having hopes and dreams gives us something to look forward to, something to plan towards. And if we are currently unhappy with the current moment, we can just place our frustrations on the hope for a better tomorrow. But if you think about how it feels to actually live life on a day-to-day basis, it feels completely different. Every day you wake up feeling tired, drag yourself down to get a cup of coffee, hop into the shower, get dressed, drive to work, get stuck in traffic, get the sandwich, and after you get the sandwich, you get another sandwich from McDonald's because you're addicted. And then you come home, usually pretty tired, and start binging on Netflix until you go to bed. This is what living life feels like to most of the people, most of the time. Life in general is usually pretty boring. You do the things you usually do every day. You kind of have a routine or pattern that you stick to. Life usually isn't super inspiring or mind-blowing. It's just sort of a day-to-day experience, you know? But is there anything wrong with that? I mean, social media has us thinking that everyone is hanging out on yachts all the time, going on crazy adventures, buying a different Rolex every day. Everyone is married to the person of their dreams, having the most beautiful babies. But that's not life. That's an Instagram highlight story. Highlight stories that we constantly absorb from those we follow on Instagram or the movies we watch on Netflix. These highlights start to strongly influence the story we tell ourselves about our own lives. We start viewing our lives as a life with as many of these highlights fitted into it as possible. So the days when these awesome, crazy things aren't happening, we view our lives as somehow suboptimal. Our amazing days somehow become our expectations, and our normal days somehow become, well, boring. Like we're wasting our potential, wasting our lives away. But this amazing story, this adventure life, nobody really has that. Not Zac Efron, not Jeff Bezos. Sure, these guys are doing some pretty cool and important things more often than we are, but still, the majority of their lives, they just wake up, do a bunch of things they don't want to do, they're grinding it out, they're working hard, they're often really frustrated or stressed out. They still poop, they still eat, they do everything a normal human being does, you know? Most of their lives exist in sort of a day-to-day monotony. They are experiencing life in the exact same way you are, except when Elon Musk is fantasizing about going on a vacation, he's thinking about going to Mars, not to the Bahamas. Assuming you get 8 hours of sleep every night, which I'm sure you do, you only have about 16 hours to live because you only experience life one day at a time. That little section of time between lifting a head off the pillow and putting it back down again, and all that stuff in between that seems kind of normal and kind of inconsequential. That's all life is. It's just that thing, over and over
and over again.
And this can sound super depressing or super inspiring, depending on how you look at it. It can be depressing, obviously, if you don't like those 16 hours. Usually, a lot of us are slaves to our bad habits. We do things we don't want to do, we have jobs we don't like, we are put in certain financial and social situations that we really don't like being in. So every single day, day after day is something we generally don't like doing. That is why we fantasize about the future so often. We are still waiting to live our real lives. And if this is all there is, then it's super depressing. But there is a silver lining, because changing your entire life isn't that big of an achievement as you might think it is. Because if you think about it, living a more boring life is all about perspective. Since life is lived in these 16-hour mini episodes, that's a very manageable time to perfect. We start to build habits that we enjoy doing and that are good for us. We can also train ourselves to make better choices that are actually aligned with our values and will help us be that person we want to be every single day. Because a good life is actually just a series of good days, not necessarily days where everything went our way and nothing was difficult or stressful, but days where our system was running, we gave life a good shot, we made good choices that are aligned with our values, and we did the little things that make us happy. Maybe that is having a good conversation with our friends, or putting a little extra effort into cooking so you can eat something kind of memorable and that you're proud of. Or maybe that's developing one positive habit at a time, so that the things that keep you grounded and happy start to become things that you do automatically. Viewing life in a micro scale like this also adds clarity to the little choices we make throughout the day. Most of our lives we are either living in the past or the future, but very few of us are actually living life in the present moment. If we always wanted to be a more social person, then that means saying yes to an invitation out with your friends today, not reading a Dale Carnegie book on how to make friends and influence people. And if you're constantly fantasizing about being a more fit person, then that means going to the gym today, not writing down the whole week's program and procrastinating it over and over and over again like I know you do. Because your life is today, and that's all there is. Life in the past is lived as today. Life in the future will be lived as today. Now stop watching this video and go live your life today. Alright there, if you are watching until the end of the video, I'd like to take this time to thank you so much, because I really appreciate you for watching till the end of this video. Me and my brother put a lot of effort and time into it, and all the equipment and all the videos, songs, and even those skills that we learn is down in the description below. Skillshare is where we learn a lot of our skills, such as speaking in front of the camera, editing videos on Premiere Pro, and pretty much everything. If you like these kinds of videos, documentary-based stuff, and you really are interested in business and also doing every single thing, traveling, working out, then subscribe down below, because I'm going to post more upcoming content which is going to be more and more interesting. Hit the thumbs up button, because that will help YouTube, help me, help you get more of these good content. With all that said, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead of you. I'll see you guys next time.